We just got mogged. You and I are going to be doom scrolling Twitter Roonies. First up, cash money from the PulseChain community. I am wealthy, I'm blessed, I'm retired. I'm here to help people to show them the right path. I don't expect money, I don't accept donations, and I don't monetize my socials. I'm here for you and to guide you all to win. I support good, truth, and freedom of speech. All right, with spelt peach there. That's awesome. Cash money from the PulseChain community. Also a pDAI believer, like me. There's also been, friends, a pDAI conference that's come. I want to say a lot of positive things out here. Obviously, there's some controversy because there's a Chopa talk and stuff out here. But for the most part, we're very aware of what's actually happening. Okay, PulseChain, the freedom chain. Okay, we're PulseChain freedom chain. pDAI, if it succeeds, will be OIP, the world's first ownerless, immutable, permissionless, natively decentralized stablecoin. Why do you need this in the first place? Because if you invite all these paper IOUs with a blacklist function, they can disable your chain in one phone call. Okay, just as literally one phone call. USDT, USDC. That right now, if they wanted to, Tether, friends, could literally disable Ethereum right now. They could go destroy ETH, all the liquidity pools. They could just block every single address where they are on Uniswap. Liquidity all destroyed, and then they basically just liquidate, make a DAO. Everything gets wrecked. USDT, USDC, everything just gets pretty much nuked, and then we have to restart from zero. Very, very, very dangerous, okay? Now, if you're Richard Hart, you're building for the future, you probably don't want that risk, okay? No one wants that risk for their chain. It's kind of like, friends, if you had one pipe that feeds water to everybody in a village, all right? Or let's say just a normal suburban city. There's one pipe of water, and it could be poisoned by one person if they really wanted to. You don't want to give them that power. Huang, today was the worst day of my life financially. Over $9 million gone. Oh my gosh. Typing this feels like ripping open a wound that's still bleeding. Oh gosh. But I'm still posting this. This space needs more honesty. You see the wins, 100x calls, the yachts. You don't see what happens when the market humbles you. This wasn't a rug. It wasn't a hack. It was me, overconfident, overexposed. $9 million gone. Here we have right here. Okay, at least there is a positive. Okay, they said he still has 5 million. But he also got some rough comments. No crying in casino. He's still got 5 million left. You know, you can still make it, my friend. Of course, taking a big hit like that, we've learned, this leverage is a constant story, friends. When people feel euphoric, what does it actually mean? They're so sure that the future's going to get better. If they're so sure that the future's going to get better, they act by doing leverage. They say, oh, if this thing is definitely going from $10 to $20, I'm going to put on like a 3x leverage so I get like triple the gains. When a lot of people stack on that side, all the incentives for the exchanges are to unfortunately liquidate you. But you're still my Habibi. You are still my Habibi because I've been teaching you this, all these steps of the way every single day, Fred. It's very tough. It is tough. It is hard as well when we actually had a perp dex narrative as well appear. Check it out. This was the biggest scam in history of crypto ever. They demolished 3 years of upside in just 24 hours. They dropped altcoins 70%. Some altcoins went to zero. Exchange orchestrated 1 year of bear market in 24 hours. Whoa. You know what? That's another way to think about it. Yeah, they're like, okay, how much are you going to drop in a bear market? 70%? All right, let's just speed run it. Drop it down in 5 minutes. That's what happened. This is Unipix Bonk Guy, friends. I might make another video on him. Oh my gosh, this is so painful. Look at his emails. These are liquidation emails. Friends, Unipix, I think he lost 15 million. I think he lost about 15 million. All of his leverage long positions were wiped out. He'd been long for like 12 months. 12 months. It's very tough. At the top, he had 30 million in this. So, yeah. But yes, so that day alone, so technically he's down 30 million from the peak, but he was still on 15. You know, some people have even said, friends, I know it's hard for you to understand, right? So a lot of people, they understand. They go, oh, why do people keep trading when they hit a certain dollar amount? See, friends, I know these people just don't get the game. You know, if you trade your P&L, you never make it successful in the first place. It's kind of like if you open up a business just to make money, you will get weeded out by that person who's like really into their ice cream, or they're really into selling squeaky chairs, or they're really into giving massages. right? So if you don't have the heart for it, you're never going to make it. If you're just in it to make money, okay? It's the same thing in trading, right? It's just like imagine you, hey, I want to be a professional football player just for the money. You're going to get absolutely, you never make it. You'll literally never make it. Anybody who tries to do that for the money, for example, this is the same thing with markets and trading. They are sport. So it's the same thing. Warren Buffett, the same thing. Why didn't Warren Buffett retire when he had $1 million? When he was like 30 years old or 28 or something. Why didn't he retire? $1 million was a lot. $1 million back then was equal to like $8 million today. Why didn't he just retire? Why didn't Elon Musk retire when he had like $5 million? Why didn't he retire when he had $1 billion after he sold PayPal? He's got 500 billion now, by the way, $500 billion. So do you see what I mean? If you keep trading your P&L, you never make it anywhere in life or anything. However, you're right. There are these points that can get wiped out to zero. It's very tough, man. That's why they're black swans. That's why we call them black swans. Nobody could foresee an exchange wiping you out in 5 minutes. You know. Now we know everything's possible, friends. Literally, the painful part is you see these things downtrend over time. They go down over a week or two. They can't bounce. Next week they're down again. They can't bounce. Next week they can't down. They bounce, and then it finishes off with a big move. With this one, it was literally 5 minutes. 5 minutes, man. Black swan. Stylo, how accurate do you think this is? This is the crypto cycle. Bear trap? I don't feel like it's a bear trap, sir, because everyone who's sold has been forced out. Right? I don't think it's... I feel like we're more like depression. I don't think we're here. I think we're literally after the bottom fishing, always at the bottom. We're like about to get a big trend emergence for altcoins, that is. Because it's literally been zeroed out. This guy made a lot of money. You're asking how I did yesterday. That is $300,000 profit. So I guess congratulations to him. But it's screenshots like that that tempts everybody to come in. They go, how are you making money? Oh, you just get long and you hold it? Okay, cool. Why don't you do the leverage of the long? You can't, bro. You can't. It doesn't work. Okay. If you want to win, you hold long term, spot. That's it. So what was yesterday? It was people trying to do both. Okay. It was people trying to get the best of leverage and 4-year cycle. So they want to get more leverage and they want to hold, but they don't want to hold the spot coins. So that's what it came down to. And that's why they're all on the same side. Here we have Crypto Coffee from PulseChain Community. Friendly reminder that PulseChain is 270% more strategically aligned to Ethereum than the US government. Very interesting because PulseChain Sac Treasury we have, I think it's down offside now again. But yeah, hopefully things get around. Here we have Uncle Peter Schiff. Crypto carnage continues. Bitcoin is below 110. Ether below 37. If ETH cracks 350, it could crash to 1500. Nearly 70% record low. Bitcoin could sink to 75K. I mean, like, there's your bottom call. So right, there's our bottom call right here. So I guess you're just waiting for the universe to like throw out stuff like this. Here we have Gabriel Haines. Congratulations to the Chads who continue to hold.
Motherfucking still.
Wow, that's amazing. Well done, Gabby, on losing some weight, sir. We love your pepperoni nipples as well. He's got a giant ice glacier. This is it, going back to his roots. Reminds me of FTX holding out here. Something we saw as well, Gabby, man, he did really well on XPL PlasmaChain. I don't know if he got out though. I think he put in 50 grand. So it was worth like $1 million at the top of it. But like, I just want to show you XPL, friends. This breaks my heart, man. It was literally, friends, it literally went down 85% in 12 days. Oh, man, this industry, bro. This industry. Oh, gosh, what do you do? So this couldn't reclaim this. If you want to believe in, I guess there's a level here, by the way, for XPL. You'd want, I guess, if you really want to come, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even gonna bother. We'll just move on. Alex Becker. Either crypto is over, the explosive gains is a thing of the past, cycle's extinct, or we're about to see the most drunken bull in history. There's no in between. F you, alt season. We did have a sentiment wipeout, a bottoming out. Hopefully we do get that. Here we have Robert Kiyosaki. Reminder, I predicted the biggest crash in the world history was coming in my rich dad's prophecy. Baby boom retirements are going to be wiped out. Many boomers. So with Robert Kiyosaki, friends, remember he's a Bitcoin bull. I just want to let you know something. Robert Kiyosaki, he does not understand log charts. He only uses linear. So when he says there's going to be the biggest crash in history, He uses dollars denominated, which is not correct. So he doesn't. So if something drops 8%, just because that says $1 trillion, he thinks that's worse than dropping, say, 50%. So that's why when the 8% move comes, he goes, I told you we're going to lose the most amount of money. Yeah, my friends, it's because they keep printing currency units every single year. You see what I mean? Here we have Mr. Unipix, Bonk Guy. He does follow me. Good on him. He's got a quote here in his bio. If the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that, from James. Okay. Wow. So much kindness and love in the comments on my post about yesterday's loss. Way more than I anticipated, even from people I did not expect. It's amazing to see how everyone can rally in support. It's a good trader, friends. With Bonk Guy, so how did he become Bonk Guy? I just want to show. Look, I'm gonna feed you, and I got to do this just because I don't want to show you this corn. I don't want to show you corn, but I'm just for the purpose of this demonstration to tell a story. I have to. Okay, Bonk Guy became Bonk Guy because you see this chart. See Bonk. He actually was long Bonk. He put $16,000 in, 16K, and he longed Bonk. And he held it the whole way. Still, he never got out, and he just got liquidated. So he put 16K. I think at the top was worth 30 million. And yeah, at the top here. So even friends, this is the fake out that it had on the Trump victory last year. You understand? Look out, friends. This is how tough and dangerous the game is. Look at this. He had 1, 2, 3, and everyone's called him a noob, and he didn't get out. And then look what happened. Trump wins, and then it breaks the high. But then look what ends up happening. It comes all the way back down. He still doesn't get out. Up here, everyone thought was going to be great, and then unfortunately, everything just went to zero. Bank. Oh, man, that sucks, bro. Jeez, man, that really sucks. You can't do it, dude. You can't, friends. You can't have these big positions, man. Look, yeah, 1%'s winning. Just like that one guy. Yeah, 1%'s winning. One guy. 1%. And then, by the way, those people end up regretting not holding stuff anyway once a big moves happen. Carbon, the timeline is dead. A lot of people got completely wiped out yesterday, and you can feel the quietness on the timeline. There are just 10 of us left here. This is true, friends. This is true. That's why it's... Yeah. If you got spare ammo, which nobody has, but if you did, it's time to go all in. But we've been waiting forever, man. You know, here we have Andrew Tate. Remember, friends, Andrew Tate, he was short into it. The problem is he got forcefully exited for profit because they needed to provide liquidity for the people trapped long. That's called ADL. Okay? So he's talking about satanic leveraging.
Which I can promise you is absolutely true because I've lived it. Money has karmic forces applied to it. There is karma when money is involved.
Karma and money and all these, yes, all these things. It's tough. It's tough. Digits. 30 billion just got liquidated yesterday. That leverage was literally propping up spot prices across the board. It's gone now. 70% of retail just went to zero. So who's left to buy your alts that had just their first leg down? The books are thin. And everyone who bought higher is now underwater. That means every bounce becomes sell pressure. Market makers are scared to quote size in this environment. Illiquid books. How new is this guy? Because everything you're describing is extremely bullish. When at extreme bottoms, no one wants to make a market because it's the bottom. Yeah, that's wild. So yeah, friends, everything they're describing is bullish. He runs something called NAV Finance. Yeah, man, that's just what it is, right? And then they're the people they flip bullish after the price goes up. They're like, oh, I told you it was. They change their mind halfway through, but they don't make it public. And they say, oh, I told one guy, I told my neighbor's friend's dog who had a pet duck over that I actually flipped bullish. It's just you went in the room to hear it. Who cares, bro? Who cares? Coin Mamba. Since we're talking about how exchanges functioned yesterday's nuke, let me tell you how I got liquidated on Binance. Oh, no. Oh, no. I was running a pair trade, one long and one short. As the prices started nuking, my margin got low. And instead of partially liquidating both positions, Binance decided to completely close my short position and keep my long fully open, which also got liquidated. And no, it wasn't ADL. I was running similar positions on lighter and extended, which perfectly survived the crash. Not sure we'll continue to trade on Binance after this. Better to trade on Dexers with zero fees. So there you go, friends. Centralized exchanges, they're rigging it against 99% of people. Oh man, oh gosh, as soon as I saw he had a pair trade open, finished. So pair trade, right? It's just you're long one, short the other, but you're trying to play their spreads, and it's meant to be safer because the volatility of them is smoother. Which I'll give you an example, right? You can chart, for example, you can chart say Chainlink. You can chart Chainlink to Uni ratio. And I'll actually show it to you here. Chainlink to Uni. Let's look at it, right? And you can see, let's see what it looks like on the weekly, right? Look at the deviations of this. You see that? It drops down 50%. You see these over time. Okay, these things over time. They don't have like these huge, giant moves. The volatility is less. But I'm sure he had other pairs. So sometimes you can find pairs that are kind of like moving around. So you're in it and you think you're safe. You think you're hedged because you're long one, short the other. And then look what happens on these big moves, man. Very, very, very nasty. Very nasty. I've got this quick update here. Look at this from Kobayashi letter. The plot thickens. The Trump insider hyperliquid whale placed $23 million of shorts at 4:49 p.m. yesterday. Exactly 1 minute later, President Trump announced 100% tariffs on China, leading to the largest liquidation in crypto history. Is this the best crypto trade of the year? So there you go, friends. Insiders. The result was $192 million gain in just shorts 30 minutes later. They're like, yeah, best trade of the year. Definitely not an insider. Why don't you just call it crime? Wow. You know? Yeah, so long-term leverage positions, that's who you're fighting against, right? We still got to remain optimistic, friends. This is the crypto industry is going to rebuild. We're going to make it through this. But sentiment's bottomed out. Hopefully it's enough for us to like move through the price action phase next, where everything's jittery. Everyone calls for it to keep going lower and lower and lower. And hopefully instead what we move into is eventually a reclaiming of Bitcoin back to that 120,000 later on. I think the 4-year cycle Jeets are out though. What do you think? I think they're out. They had leverage everywhere. I think they're out. I hope they're out. If they're not out now, they're probably going to get out at the end of the year. But we'll see. Like, subscribe, belly button, and all. Catch you soon.